Let's show you what's happening right now because the winds are so high and they've been high crossing through the area right now. Look at that wind gust in Greenville. That's right now the highest we've seen, 62 miles per hour. We had a 60 earlier. As we get in closer right now, let's show you those wind gusts locally as we're continuing to monitor this storm as it rolls through the area right here. So looking in closer here, it looks like this one's kind of stuck on 51, but you saw the 62 just a moment ago. Here we are, satellite and radar, the core of the storm, the eye, that same eye that made landfall yesterday in Florida, moving toward the north here. As we look toward Asheville, Hendersonville, you're next up for some of those intense winds. The tornado threat is toward the east today, but it can't be ruled out, especially in the eastern parts of the upstate. Let's look at live Super Doppler 4 right now from Pickens to Oconee County to Greenville. That's where that main line is. That band right there in the heavy red dark color right there. That's the worst of the winds rolling through the area right now, and it's going to continue to do so. That band responsible for the 50, 60, 70 mile per hour wind gusts that we have seen across the area here. Look at Clemson, 66. Now here's the deal. Some of these reporting sites, they'll report a number and then the power goes out, so they don't report another number. So that's the key here is we're watching this closely. What I can tell you is live Super Doppler 4 has power. We have power here thanks to a generator at times, right? Keeping things moving here in downtown Greenville. As we look at Spartanburg grid, this is the line that's producing the power outages down here, okay? So again, the majority of the upstate watching right now, on whatever device you're watching from, does not have power. This is all moving toward the north right here into North Carolina. So if you're watching us in western North Carolina, Hendersonville, Rutherfordton, if you're fortunate enough to have power right now, just ask the folks to the south. We've got the new advisory out, and the eye is over the upstate. We've got a tropical storm of magnitude of 60 miles per hour moving through. That's a sustained wind. The gusts are even higher than that, 70, 75 miles per hour at times. It's rolling on through. As we look toward Asheville, Hendersonville, this core is going to move towards you shortly. The new track out from the National Hurricane Center shows by 2 o'clock, it's approaching Kentucky. So that's where the core will be. Of course, it's still windy wrapping around that. So we'll experience those windy conditions all day. Do not let that lull you into a false sense of any kind of security, because as the winds continue to stay up today, those trees have taken a beating today. You need to just really keep a good measure of your surroundings, because as we move forward, those gusts are going to stay so high. Every single one of these green boxes indicates a flash flood warning. That's every single place that you're watching from right now in the western Carolinas, thanks to this eye moving over us. So Spartanburg to Greenville to Henderson County, this arm lifting north like that. So the worst of the winds now heading into Flat Rock, downtown Hendersonville, Laurel Park, Edneyville, Highway 64. That's also rainfall rates that are over an inch per hour. In this deep red color right here, that's live Super Doppler's way of telling me that rainfall rate could be as high as 2 inches per hour, okay? So it's putting down a lot of rain in a short period of time. Now it's moving very fast, so that's the one thing that's on our side here with regard to the rain, is that heaviest band is going to be in and out of your area within 30, 45 minutes. So it's going to be good for an inch or so. Catastrophic flooding underway right now in Haywood County. That's a tag the National Weather Service will put on certain flash floods that are to a level where it's really, really dangerous. So this line right here is just going to send some of those streams and creeks that are already verging on record territory that's only been approached 2 times since reporting some of these gauges. The Swannanoa River there at Biltmore, that's the highest it's ever been. The only other 2 times it's been close, 2004 with Francis and Ivan, and 1916. We all have heard growing up, studying history in North Carolina, growing up in schools, that 1916 flood was devastating for the Biltmore area, Asheville, and surrounding areas into Hendersonville. And that's where we're verging on right now. A flood that hasn't happened but 2 times in 120 years, right? So here it comes, moving into Hendersonville, Columbus, Landrum, Rutherfordton. And the rainfall is going to continue to just really stay high as this eye crosses into Oconee County. You could actually be in the eye in Walhalla, Lake Keowee, over through West Union. And then that eye crosses into western North Carolina. Remember, the worst winds are always on that east side, so it's going to stay very breezy today. 9, 10, 11 o'clock. The rain's shutting off in the upstate, but it's still so windy. So how much additional rain can you see? You don't need to see another drop. We've already had too much rain in some areas, like Asheville, Hendersonville, another inch to an inch and a half likely. Let's look closer at some of these communities. Laurel Park up through Burnsville, eastern Buncombe County, you could get another 2 to 3 inches. And that's why these rivers, here's an example of one. This is the French Broad River at Fletcher, where it was 2 days ago, where it's at right now, where it's going today. By the way, the record 2004 was 20 feet there at the French Broad, set to crest at 31 feet today. All right, so the wind speeds continuing to stay high as we go throughout the next couple of hours. And again, the sun may come out for you later today. That does not mean that trees can't come down. I mean, that's the real fear here, is that, you know, you're driving along or you're out working in your yard. Just take note of your surroundings here, because those winds, even though the sun may be shining, will be so high. Speaking of winds, Perel Lewis continues to monitor the current wind speeds, which, Perel, if we have power at some of these reporting sites, we're getting back some big numbers.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can't wait till a little bit later today when power is restored, hopefully, and we can get some of those latest totals. But you know, those gusts, 40, 50, 60 miles per hour right now. This will begin to die down as we head into the next couple of hours, which is good. In fact, I think the worst is already passed. Here's some of the peak wind gusts from our official recording sites. Anderson, 70 miles per hour, both at GSP in Greer and in downtown Greenville, 60 and 61 mile per hour gust. In Spartanburg, 44 mile per hour gust. I know in Clemson, you had close to 70, if not 70. Those were definitely some of the higher hit areas in terms of some of those stronger wind gusts. Trying to get you a live view here from one of our downtown cameras. Look at Reedy River. I mean, it just looks like it's just moments away from spilling out, isn't it? It's not, but if you notice how quickly this is moving, it almost looks like waves in an ocean and not that calm Reedy River we typically all see when we're out there at Liberty Bridge or on the Swamp Rabbit Trail. As we take a look, live Super Doppler 4 radar, the eye wall, here's Helene, by the way, the center of this storm. You know, we've had air reconnaissance aircraft from the Hurricane Center fly in and out of this eye wall when it was out in the ocean, of course. Now it's here. Elberton, Hartwell, Clemson right now. So right on the outskirts of this is where the strongest winds are. Pickens, Hendersonville, and torrential rain, by the way, moving up into Rutherfordton, Asheville, right along I-40, Cullowhee as well, and then back into Franklin. This is going to be wrapping back around your area as the core of this eye wall moves out to the south or to the north and to the west away from us. So if you're in Hartwell, Elberton, Abbeville, Greenwood, the good news is the worst rain is over with for you and the worst winds as well. It's still going to be windy, still going to be very gusty out there. But look at this, Greenville, Spartanburg, you're about to get some relief as well. That reprieve is coming for your area, and then it's going to move into the mountains more. But look how quickly it's moving. This is on a 3-hour loop, so it's not going to take too much longer for you. Trying to pull in some storm reports, but unfortunately from our radar anyway, there's not going to be a lot out there because no one has power, no one has electricity to really do us justice for that. Sydney Sullivan, our meteorologist, is standing by. She's going to have a lot more details on that for you in a few minutes. But look at this, 9, 10 o'clock this morning, most of it's done. Then it will be about really the wind gust, which really have already weakened trees and power lines and other structures. So even though our winds will be kind of dying down, it won't be as strong. It's still going to be initially in that 30 to 40 mile per hour gust for the next couple of hours for some of us, even into 10, 11, 12 o'clock. And then it goes into 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts this afternoon. And then finally, we can say the winds are calm by tonight. So it's going to be kind of a steady reprieve, but it's going to take us several hours until we can finally say those winds are calm and we are completely dry. But the worst is over for many, not for everyone, but we are getting there. Okay, we'll send it back to you, Aaron and Destiny.
Perella, thank you. Your time now is 8:10, and breaking news just into the newsroom. Easley Police Department is currently working to resolve a technical issue with its 911 phone line.
If you have an emergency, call the number that you see right there on your screen. That number is 864-859-4025. And let's take a look at some photos from the city of Greenville right now. These are coming in throughout the morning. Certainly good to get photos. If you have them, please send them to us. And I want to give you some reminders from the city. You can see that tree there down in the house. Any person unable to attend any session of municipal court because of that weather will have their case continued to a new date and time, and they'll be notified by subpoena sent by mail.
Green Lake bus service will have a delayed start on Friday morning. Service begins at 9:30 a.m. Cleveland Park and Unity Park closed. At Unity Park, there's no access for businesses or visitors. You can see those low-lying roadways, which are experiencing some flooding out there. Hudson Road and Westfield Street near Unity Park are closed at the bridges, and that is also due to high water.